Alright, so we're recording.
We're recording.
Welcome to
Dark and
Creepy Things
with
Frank
and
Scout.
Yay!
I'm Scout.
I'm Frank.
Hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray! I think it's episode 28?
28?
Maybe,
Okay.
yeah. 28. Recording inside again, so let's hope the cats behave. Go to sleep, everybody. Let us record.
Why are you moving?
We should thank our patrons.
Yes. First patron is Bittern by the Bug,
Yes.
who makes Japanese textiles and stuff.
Are you speaking loud enough?
Yes, I'm speaking loud enough.
Japanese textiles and stuff.
Japanese textiles and stuff.
Then we
Thanks,
have
Mum.
Ira Francis, creator of the Bright Side comic.
Which you can find on the Googles.
On the Googles.
That's all our patrons, isn't it? We have regular listeners.
Oh yeah, and they're patrons too, but
Yeah.
there's some businesses that they've asked us to mention.
Sian.
Oh, Sian, we have
Cyndal.
and Maia. Thank you,
Thank
patrons.
you.
I owe you all a sticker when I see you. Alright, I have for you
You have for me
a Mother's Day special.
a Mother's Day special, eh?
Mother's Day is a weird one because it's like different nearly everywhere around the world.
Yeah, America has theirs in I want to say September. But
Why are you whispering?
I want to say September, but I don't think that's right. Yeah. Mother's Day is
I have no idea, and I
everywhere.
don't really care.
Well, Mother's Day is the second Sunday in May in Australia. In Australia.
Is it?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have for you the case of Keli Lane.
Okay.
Have you heard of Keli Lane?
No.
I'm listening to another podcast at the moment, which is pretty much covering the whole Keli Lane story, but it's one that I bookmarked for us for our podcast ages ago, last year. So yeah, it's a really interesting case. So Keli Lane, born 21st of March 1975, a former Australian water polo player,
Okay.
was convicted of the 1996 murder of her newborn baby Tegan and 3 counts of making a false declaration. So she murdered her baby.
She murdered her baby.
Baby Tegan.
Tegan. Okay.
You haven't heard of baby Tegan?
No.
Okay.
What year was this?
96.
96. Okay.
Yeah. It's a case that's been around. I think a few different podcasts I listened to have covered it briefly as well. Yeah. Lane is serving an 18-year prison sentence and will be eligible for parole on the 12th of May 2024 after serving a period of 13 years and 5 months in custody.
Hang on. So she was given an 18-year prison sentence.
But you're still eligible for parole before that.
Yeah, but she says she's eligible for parole in... When was she given the prison sentence?
Convicted in 1996.
So yeah, she's convicted in 1996, right? She has an 18-year prison sentence. 1996 plus 18 is way before 2024.
Is it?
Yeah. 96.
Oh, maybe she wasn't convicted then.
She must have been...
That murder happened in 96, but I think she was convicted a lot later.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say...
Listen to the case. It took ages for it to all come out.
I was going to say, if it was 18 years, it means she would have been convicted in 2006.
Probably true.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, so we'll find out more. On the 18th of April 2011, Lane's lawyers lodged an appeal against her conviction at the same time as a Sydney taxi driver alleged he saw Lane dispose of the child.
Oh, God.
Her final application for appeal was rejected by the High Court in August 2014. Alright. Has this piqued your interest?
Vaguely. Keep going.
Alright. Early years and background. Lane is the daughter of Sandra, a water polo team manager. Why are you laughing?
She is the daughter of Sandra.
And,
Just Sandra. No one else, just Sandra.
and Robert,
Oh, and Robert.
Sandra and Robert.
Sandra
Robert
and
Lane.
Robert.
a well-known surfer, rugby player and retired police officer.
I love the word well known. Like I'm supposed to know who this person is, and I don't.
No, we don't know rugby.
Who's
We're in
Robert
Victoria.
Lane?
It's all about Australian rules football.
Who's Robert Lane?
Yeah. Other people are aware of who
People know who Robert Lane is?
Yeah.
I don't know who Robert
Probably
Lane
if you
is.
follow rugby.
Like he actually was a national level rugby player.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Educated at McKellar Girls High School in Manly, Lane enrolled in an arts degree at the University of Newcastle and then went on to study at the Australian College of Physical Education while working part-time at Ravenswood School for Girls as a physical education teacher. Between 1994 and 1998, she was in a relationship with rugby league player Duncan Gillies. It's all a bit incestuous. Lots of rugby and water polo going on. An elite water polo player at national and international level, Lane was a member of the silver medal winning Australian junior women's team at the 1995 World Championships in Quebec, Canada.
Okay.
Tegan Lane. That's the baby.
The baby.
Baby Tegan.
Yeah.
On 12th of September 1996, Lane, aged 21, gave birth to Tegan Lee Lane. Why would you do that?
Tegan Lee Lane.
At Auburn Hospital. 2 days after giving birth to the child, Lane and Gillies, the boyfriend, attended a friend's wedding and there was no sign of the baby.
The baby could be at home with someone else.
In 1999, after being refused an abortion in Queensland, Lane gave birth to another child whom she decided to put up for adoption.
Okay.
Lane advised the social worker that this was her first child and that Gillies was the father. Gillies denied the claims.
Okay. So she had a baby.
She had a baby.
Tegan.
No one ever saw her again.
Okay. But like they said, she wasn't at the wedding. Like, why would you bring like a 3-day-old baby to a wedding?
True, but we'll get there.
And then she had another baby.
3 years later.
3 years later, put it up for adoption.
Because she was refused an abortion.
Yeah, which,
Just
funnily enough, abortion is still criminalised in Queensland. But anyway.
Alright, so now the Department of Community Services investigations. Prior to finding a permanent home for this child, the Department of Community Services, DOCS, made further investigations that led to finding that the child born in 1999 was in fact not Lane's first child, and that she had given birth to Tegan Lane in 1996 at Auburn Hospital. Further investigations revealed that Lane had also given birth in 1995 during her 4-year relationship with Gillies. Gillies claimed he was completely unaware of Lane's pregnancies.
Okay, sure. I'm guessing this person, because they're athletic, they're quite slight.
Oh, yeah.
In other words, they wouldn't have any fat tone.
Exactly, so it's going to be probably pretty obvious.
It's pretty obvious
Yeah.
when a person who has no fat has a baby.
Yeah. When confronted with these allegations in October 1999, Lane initially denied the existence of the 2 earlier children.
What?
Several days... What?
Tegan and the 1995 baby.
Yes.
Yes, okay,
Yeah.
go on.
Several days later, she claimed that the middle child, Tegan, lives with her family in Perth.
Okay.
So Tegan's the third. There was 2 before Tegan.
I thought that was the 95, then Tegan, and then the 99.
No, there was a 90... Oh, I'm so confused. Yeah.
So I'm right.
Yeah, you're
95,
right. So,
Tegan, 99.
9. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
So that she just said that Tegan's living with a family in Perth.
Yes. Concerned about the situation, the DOC social worker alerted the local police, who began investigations in late 1999.
Okay.
Yeah. So, allegedly about this time, baby Tegan's, 3 years old?
Yep.
And living in Perth. So, the initial police investigations. After some initial tardiness, I love the word tardiness.
Oh my god, it's such a stupid word. Oh my god, they were tardy.
Tardy. In February 2001, Lane, who by now was pregnant with her 4th child, was interviewed by police. During the police interview, Lane claimed that she had given the child, Tegan, to the baby's father, a man called Andrew Morris.
So Gillies wasn't even the father of Tegan.
Apparently not. With whom she claimed to have had a brief affair. So she was with Gillies
Right.
all this time, but apparently had an affair with this Morris person.
Yep.
Yeah. Lane was interviewed by police again in May 2003, so it's like 2 years later.
Yeah.
This time she claimed the man's name was not Andrew Morris, it was Andrew Norris.
What?
And that she had handed over the baby to him in the Auburn Hospital car park.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
Yeah. During police interviews, Lane claimed that she was forced to hide her pregnancies because of her fear of the reaction of her parents and friends. It was reported that during the police interviews, Lane said several times she felt alone when she became pregnant and, quote, "I had no other choice." Manly Police referred the matter to the New South Wales coroner in 2005.
Why were they going to refer it to the coroner? No one's dead yet. They don't know it. They don't know if anyone's dead yet.
Yeah, well,
Why would they refer it to the coroner?
because they don't know where this baby or where any of these babies
What,
are.
so they're thinking maybe they are dead?
Yeah, they must have had suspicions.
Yeah.
And because their story keeps changing. Like 1 minute it's with Gillies, she's with Gillies. 1 minute it's with Morris, who's now Norris. Like,
Yeah, and then
yeah, that's
initially
so
she
sad.
said that Tegan was with her family and
Exactly. So that's of course so many red flags.
Yeah.
At this point it's already 2005.
2005
It's,
at this
it's
point.
been like 9 years since baby Tegan was
What,
born.
and they've not
And
located
no one
a
knows where
9-year-old?
this baby Tegan is.
Well, it's not a baby at this point.
Well,
It's
no.
a 9-year-old.
Yeah. Well, coronial. Is it coronial?
Let me have a look. Yeah, coronial inquest.
Such a weird word.
Coronial. Yeah.
Coronial.
Coroner, coronial.
Yeah,
Yep.
coronial inquest. A coronial inquest into the disappearance of Tegan Lane. Fuck. Can you mark?
No, I want it in the thing. Tegan Lee Jane. Fuck.
Coronial still doesn't sound right. Coronial inquest into the disappearance of Tegan Lee Lane began in June 2005 and ran until February 2006.
That's a long coronial inquest.
Yeah, that will really.
Well,
go for
I
it.
didn't think they went that long. How many months is that?
That's, I don't know, not quite a year, but close to. The inquest was presided over by John Abernathy QC and heard that police had undertaken an extensive search for the child, including attempting to match DNA samples. The inquest resulted in the coroner declaring that he was, quote, comfortably satisfied that Tegan Lane is in fact deceased.
Okay.
And that he was concerned that baby Tegan had met with foul play, although he also stated that there still existed a possibility that she was alive somewhere.
Okay. But they don't mention as, like, how it happened. It's just that it happened.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Well, I don't know yet.
As in, there's no rest of the article doesn't say.
I don't know, I haven't read the article before.
Oh, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Go on. Tell me more.
The coroner recommended that the brief of evidence and transcript of the coronial inquiry be forwarded to the New South Wales Homicide Squad for assessment and, if necessary, further investigation.
Okay.
So subsequent police investigations from 2006, now it's been like 10 years
God.
since baby Tegan was born,
Yeah.
and who knows what happened to the other two children before.
I'm guessing the
Tegan
coronial
born.
inquest didn't go
What?
into the other two children.
Police investigations focus on locating Andrew Morris, or Andrew Norris, the man that Lane claimed was the father of Tegan.
Yeah.
It was reported that police looked at birth registrations, official name changes, electoral rolls, recipients of Centrelink payments or other government payments for children, immigration records, police records, driver's licenses and vehicle registration records, electricity connection records, Sydney's white pages, and Australian Taxation Office records. Police were unable to locate a man of that name or names who matched the profile.
I was going to say, if they said we couldn't find a single person named Andrew Morris, I'd be saying they're lying.
No.
Surely there's
Match the
someone
profile.
named Andrew
Yeah.
Morris in
Or
this
Norris.
country.
Or Norris.
Yeah.
Police also sought to locate Tegan Lane by searching the records of over 9,000 primary schools in Australia.
Oh.
A search process that lasted 2 years.
Can you imagine that would take a long time?
Yeah.
A lot of... But that's the thing. If you think... keep going. I have thoughts about this.
Okay. 2 girls named Tegan Lane were found in Queensland, and another possibility was picked up on a Torres Strait island. Finally, police excluded all possible leads.
No.
The police investigators, assessing that they had no conclusive evidence or any physical evidence pointing to baby Tegan's death, decided not to charge Lane. However, they referred the matter, again, just keep referring this matter.
Yeah, because we don't know what's wrong with it. Go over there.
Yeah, and keep handballing it. They referred it this time to the New South Wales Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, Nicholas Cowdery. In what the National Times described as an, quote, unusual step, on 17th of November 2009, the DPP charged Lane with the murder of Tegan Lee Lane.
With what evidence? What evidence do they say?
Lane pleaded not guilty, and the matter went to trial by jury.
But what evidence do they have to say that she did it? Because at the moment I'm not seeing any.
No.
Other than the baby is nowhere. Like, we don't know where this child is.
Well, wouldn't you assume that the mum had something
I wouldn't. I would assume the mother had something to do with her child's whereabouts, obviously. But I wouldn't assume that she killed her.
Yeah.
I would assume that she would pass it off to someone else. I wouldn't assume... Most people who have children, regardless of whether they want them or not, don't kill them.
Yeah, but there's no fucking records at all. Like, she's literally gotten rid of everything.
She could have just given the baby to someone and go, here's your baby, and not told her name.
True.
So that means she could be living under a completely different name.
True.
And not know that she's Tegan Lane.
Yeah.
And same with the other 2 kids.
Which reminds me a little bit, well, not really, but a little bit just at this point of the Madeleine McCann case.
And I was just about to talk about that.
because that's what we've said, like, by watching the disappearance of Madeleine McCann. Like, imagine, like, she was handed off or sold or whatever, taken to another family, no idea she's Madeleine McCann, and could be watching stuff about Madeleine McCann, not knowing that's her name.
And the only thing about Madeleine McCann, though, how old was she? 4?
Yeah.
So you might remember some of it. This isn't a 2-day-old baby. This is a 4-year-old who has thoughts and feelings and emotions and memories.
Yeah. But
not
it would take a lot to convince her that her name's not Madeleine McCann, though.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, a 4-year-old would go, no, my man's Madeleine. And how long would it take for her to be, I don't know, Stockholm syndrome into thinking that she's not?
Yeah, no, I don't think it take that long.
And thinking about how much... We've spoken about this before. Madeleine McCann is one case of a child who's gone missing in Portugal.
Yeah.
And they were saying in the Madeleine McCann Netflix special about thousands of children who go missing in Portugal every year, mostly due to child trafficking.
Yeah, it's a lot of child trafficking.
A lot of child trafficking. And how they make such a huge deal out of this one case, this one particular case, because the parents are English.
Yeah, they're white.
They're white and they're English, and they have a ton of money.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? They're both doctors.
Yeah.
And so, like, they have, again, so much effort has gone into finding this one child, and I feel that's the same with this case. The mother is a well-known water polo.
It comes from a well-off family.
Comes from a well-off family who are people we know. They spent 2 years going through records for one child.
I know.
I think about all the children in Australia who are missing.
Yeah.
Imagine the amount of team of people it would have taken to delve into records looking for one child.
That's true.
Like, I feel like the same one side of me is saying, yes, it's horrible and we should be doing what we can to find this child. But other parts of me are going, it seems disproportionate, the amount of effort for one kid.
Yeah, it's a high-profile family, so...
And that makes me sad.
Yeah,
it's like you should.
Literally, money can buy you a police investigation.
Right? Think about all the other children who have gone missing.
So, trial process and criminal finding. The matter was heard in the Supreme Court, presided over by Justice Anthony Wheely, with Mark Tedeschi, QC, as the Crown prosecutor, and Keith Chappell, SC, defending Lane under instruction from Legal Aid, and began on the 9th of August 2010. I find it interesting she's got legal aid.
Yeah, she didn't even get by her own lawyer.
No, or her family didn't.
Interesting.
The Crown alleged that Lane became pregnant 5 times over 7 years during the 90s, terminating the first 2 pregnancies, placing 2 babies up for adoption, and allegedly murdering her baby, Tegan, on the 14th of September 1996.
That's interesting, though, because it sounds like they've confirmed that the other 2 have been taken up for adoption.
Yeah.
It sounds because she wasn't charged for the death of the other two. It was they have been found, and yes, they were put up for adoption.
And there was probably paperwork and all that stuff.
Like they were able to follow a paper trail.
Exactly.
But with Tegan, they couldn't. Interesting.
Yeah. The jury heard that Lane concealed her pregnancies from her family and friends in order to protect her personal image and reputation. The evidence heard at the trial was similar to that presented at the inquest 4 years earlier. The major differences were the police searches that occurred in between, and the discovery that Lane had left Auburn Hospital not at 2 p.m. on the day Tegan disappeared, but several hours earlier. The Crown produced evidence that, as a motive for murder, Lane was prepared to abandon her children at birth to increase her chances of representing Australia in water polo at the Sydney 2000 Olympic Games. There was also evidence she believed children would interfere with her educational plans, her social life, and the regard in which she was held by parents and friends. It was also alleged that her friend's wedding on the 14th of September may have been a crucial factor, as Lane sought a permanent solution to a potential problem to hide evidence of the pregnancy and birth from family and friends.
I feel like saying, part of me feels like saying, why didn't you on some sort of contraception if you were so terrified of having babies?
And obviously, sex, it didn't stop her from having sex.
Yeah, but like, I understand not stopping you from having sex, but if you're so terrified of having children because you don't want to give up your sport, or you don't want to deal with children,
don't want to miss out being in the Olympics.
Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. I can totally understand someone holding off having children for those reasons.
So take precautions.
Take precautions. Yeah. Why the fuck are you still getting pregnant? Why are you still getting pregnant after the first time, or the second time, or the third time? Like, fucking take the pill. Make your partner wear a condom.
When she can just get rid of the babies.
Like, what? Who thinks that's a good reason, considering abortion is
just
criminalised
because you're from
in
a well-to-do family and you're a sporting type and well-liked doesn't mean you're a good fucking person.
No, of course not. Okay. I mean, it doesn't mean you're a good person, but it doesn't mean you're a smart person either.
No. At various stages during the trial, clashes over points of evidence occurred between the Crown and the presiding judge. The Crown took one matter to the Court of Criminal Appeal. At the heart of the Crown's appeal was that Lane's lies, those concerning Andrew Norris, and the story that she gave Tegan to a, quote, Perth couple, were indicative of Lane's guilt. Yeah, there's all that stuff we said before, that things aren't adding up.
Yeah.
Justice Wheely had instructed the jury that Lane's lies did not equate to guilt, whereas the Crown claimed otherwise. I can't believe the fucking judge was just like, no, this
because I think in a way, it's not, she wasn't a confession.
No, I know, but...
So you can't really say that those particular instances mean she's guilty. It's just, like, there's no...
Yeah, but why lie so much?
Because you're scared.
Okay. The Crown won its case in the appeal court and, in summing up, Crown Prosecutor Tedeschi suggested to the jury that the three lies were evidence of consciousness of guilt.
Okay.
Lane's defence rested on the lack of evidence about how or where Tegan might have been killed.
Yeah.
The defence claimed that even if Lane had killed Tegan, the Crown could not prove she had done so deliberately or with the intention to kill. In the absence of evidence, Chappell called on Justice Wheely to direct the jury to find Lane not guilty of murder.
I didn't know that the judge could direct that.
After hearing from the Crown prosecution about similar cases involving circumstantial evidence, namely Kerry Whelan and Dorothy Davis, must be other cases.
Those names sound familiar.
Yeah. There's a link to Kerry Whelan.
Okay.
And considering the matter for a day, Justice Wheely rejected the defence application. Chappell announced that Lane would not be giving evidence and that there would be no defence witnesses at all.
No witnesses at all.
Summing up, the cases lasted for over a week, Tedeschi taking 2.5 days, Chappell taking 4 days. In directing the jury, Justice Wheely asked them to consider, quote, not whether the accused is guilty, but whether the Crown has satisfied you beyond reasonable doubt that she is guilty.
In other words, the fucking judge is saying she's guilty, but we don't have enough evidence to say that she's guilty unless you guys tell us that we
pretty
do.
much.
So they're basically putting the onus on the jury to say, is this enough evidence for you to think, like, as a general public, do you think this is enough evidence?
Yeah. In total, the trial lasted 4 months, and after deliberating for a week, on the 13th of December 2010, the jury found Lane guilty of lying under oath in relation to documents dealing with her adopting out 2 other babies.
Hang on, can you repeat that sentence?
Okay, in total, the trial lasted for 4 months, and after deliberating for a week, on the 13th of December 2010, the jury found Lane guilty of lying under oath in relation to documents dealing with her adopting out 2 other babies.
Okay, so
she got done for the lying under oath.
For lying under oath.
Yeah.
Okay, yep, go on.
Not even in relation to baby Tegan. Yeah. The jury was not able to come to a unanimous verdict on the murder charge. Under advice from Justice Wheely, the jury was given the option of returning a majority of 11-1 verdict. A little later on the same day, the jury found Lane guilty of murder of Tegan Lee Lane. Lane was refused bail.
Okay, so going by that, the jury found her guilty except for one person.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's the thing, thinking about juries, people get caught up in jury duty.
I wish I was.
Yeah, but like this went for 4 months.
I know, right?
That's 4 months of you not getting work.
Yeah, but they pay you for
I know they pay you, but they only pay you what your work would have paid you.
Yeah.
So if your work, say, only pays you $100 a week, you only get $100.
Yeah, but I don't get 100.
I know that, but I'm saying as an example.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
It takes up a lot
Imagine
of time.
if you were called for jury duty and you were like a millionaire.
Yeah.
You're like, oh yeah, you have to pay me $100,000 a week to be here.
They probably wouldn't get chosen.
They probably wouldn't.
Yeah. Alright, sentencing. Sentence procedures commenced on the 11th of March 2011, again in the Supreme Court before Justice Wheely, with the Crown calling for the court to pay particular regard to general deterrence.
What does that mean?
There's a link. Should I click?
What does the link say?
Deterrence in relation to criminal offending is the ideal theory that the threat of punishment will deter people from committing crime and reduce the probability and or level of offending in society.
In other words, they're saying that you should make you should make Lane spend lots of time in prison to stop other people from killing their children.
Pretty much. Make an example
out of her.
Yeah.
Yep.
General deterrence. It was reported that psychiatrist Michael Diamond, who had appeared before the hearing on behalf of the Crown, found no evidence of a psychiatric disorder and that Lane's decisions appeared to be based on, quotation, problem solving.
What?
Well, she had a problem, she solved it.
Why don't she just put her children up for adoption?
Well, she did really, with the others.
She did, but why?
I don't know. I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened.
What happened with Tegan?
I don't know. On 15th of April 2011, Lane was sentenced to 18 years jail with a non-parole period of 13 years and 5 months. She'll be eligible for parole on the 12th of May 2023.
So she wasn't sentenced until 2011.
Yeah.
When did she kill this kid? 1996. That's 10...
So fucking
15 years later.
That she got to live without...
No, well, I mean, obviously she was investigated, but
you know, she didn't have to deal with consequences, really.
Until 15 years later. When this so-called Tegan, if she's still alive, is now a fully fledged human.
Yeah, I know. Appeal. Lawyers acting for Lane lodged an appeal against her conviction on the 18th of April 2011. The same day, claims were aired in the media that a taxi driver saw Lane dump the baby in bushland en route to Manly. According to lawyer Chris Murphy, the taxi driver collected Lane from Auburn Hospital and stopped on River Road at her request.
But why?
I believe that came out the same day.
But
that she
why
was didn't
bring it out now? Why not bring it out?
Why didn't it?
15 years ago.
Yeah, it's interesting that it was just happened to come out in the media that day.
I think that's rigged. I don't think that's
coincidence.
I don't think it couldn't be coincidence.
No, so
there's something up with that.
Yeah. Murphy claims that the driver believes that Lane left the baby in bushland and returned to the taxi where they continued on to Manly. Murphy claims that the driver returned to the site where the baby was allegedly left and found a woman there.
Oh.
According to Murphy, The driver claims that the woman stated she would attend to the needs of the baby, and the driver then left the scene.
Why wouldn't you report that?
I don't know.
That's fucking terrifying.
Yeah, I know,
and
right?
strange. Why wouldn't you report that?
Police are investigating the claims made by the driver.
Are they still investigating it?
Some news reports allege that since being jailed, Lane has been bashed by other inmates, causing facial injuries. Suck shit. Lane has responded by denying such incidents.
Yeah, I mean, if she is, I mean, you've said this before, but baby killers and children,
pedophiles and baby killers cop it hard in prison by other inmates.
Especially, I think, in a women's prison.
Oh yeah. An appeal was lodged and was heard in the New South Wales Court in Criminal Appeal between July and December 2013. The New South Wales Court of Criminal Appeal dismissed the appeal. Lane made a further application for leave to appeal to the High Court, and that application was rejected in August 2014. Exposed: the case of Keli Lane. In September 2018, the Australian Broadcasting Corporation, ABC, aired a 3-part documentary which featured interviews with Lane, conducted via 6-minute telephone calls from inside jail. I didn't even know about this. I'm totally going to have to look it up.
Yeah.
It was the first time that Lane had given interviews about the case, having approached journalist Caro Meldrum Hanna via a letter. Through interviews with experts, witnesses, family members and acquaintances of Lane, and the intensive re-examination of evidence, the program cast doubt on the soundness of Lane's trial and subsequent conviction. The program also detailed instances of slut-shaming and media bias that may have prejudiced the case. Academics subsequently called for an urgent review of Lane's case.
Interesting about the slut-shaming thing. I can understand where that comes from, because especially back in, like, when was this?
The 90s. Yeah.
For a woman to have 5 children in the space of, what, 6 years?
I think it was, yeah.
It would be like, whoa, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And giving them up for adoption and all that stuff, and terminating 2 of them. Like, people would be asking questions, people would be making assumptions. So I can understand that. But it's interesting that they brought that up.
Yeah.
I suppose nowadays it wouldn't be a case.
There's still slut shaming.
It'd still be slut shaming, but what does the other podcast have to say about this?
I'm still going through it. Like, it's slowly retelling.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm annoyed that this Wikipedia article doesn't really have anything about the evidence and stuff. Like, how do they think that she killed baby Tegan?
Well, obviously there wasn't any evidence, because that's what the defense said. Yeah. So there's no evidence to say, or no evidence of what she actually did.
Yeah, exactly.
So you can't convict her, because there's no mode of killing. There's no.
Yeah.
And what's her? I mean, they have a motive.
Yeah, yeah.
But they don't have a way. They don't have what's that called? Like a method. Yeah, there was no evidence to say she's even dead. She might not be dead.
I know, right?
Like, why convict her for murder when there's no reason she could be dead? And I suppose that's why it took them a week to figure out the jury a week to figure out fuck.
What can't you speak?
What's it called when they decided something's guilty or not guilty? An outcome?
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about right now.
Well, you know when I guess it's the reason why it took them a week to figure out whether she was guilty or not guilty in the jury room, because there's no clear-cut evidence to say the child's even dead.
Yeah, exactly. There's a link to the first reference is a link to an article in the Sydney Morning Herald.
Okay.
On December 13th, 2010, the headline, Keli Lane screams and collapses as jury finds her guilty of murdering baby Tegan. So it says, Keli Lane has been found guilty of murdering her baby daughter Tegan. On hearing the verdict, Lane sobbed and collapsed in the dock of the Supreme Court. Lane screamed out, "Oh no!" and fell to the floor.
Oh no!
Oh no!
Oh no! Oh no!
The court was closed as court officers, her lawyers and family members rushed to her aid.
Oh,
A
no.
paramedic was called to attend to her.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Her mother, who was in the public gallery, also sobbed, and many jurors had tears in their eyes.
Oh my god.
I know. In refusing to continue her bail, Justice Anthony Willey said he didn't want to give Lane false hope, as the crime she had been found guilty of carried a substantial sentence. But he had said he felt, quote, great sympathy for Lane. As court officers attended Lane in the dock, the judge temporarily adjourned the hearing but told the jurors they would return shortly, as he wished to speak to them.
Okay.
The verdict came after the jury deliberated for a week after a 4-month trial. Earlier, the jury also found Lane guilty of 3 counts of making a false statement on oath in relation to documents dealing with her adopting out 2 other babies. Earlier today, the jury foreman told the judge, Anthony Willey, they had not come to a unanimous verdict on the murder charge, and it was unlikely that further deliberations would produce one. Justice Willey told the jury to continue discussions, giving them the option of returning a majority 11-1 verdict. The case has intrigued the public for more than 5 years, since an inquest into Tegan's disappearance revealed the astonishing fact that Lane, 35, managed to keep 3 pregnancies secret from her family, friends, and even her long-term boyfriend.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that she could keep it secret.
For sure.
How would she be able to keep it secret
I
when
think
she
some
has...
other podcasts I was listening to were just saying, like, she would wear, like, big jackets and oversized jumpers and all that kind of stuff.
She must have had the babies during winter, because how would you get away with that in summer?
Yeah, that's true. Mr. Tedeschi said that when Lane fell pregnant 5 times over the course of 7 years in the 1990s, she had sought a permanent solution to all the pregnancies, terminating the first 2, adopting 2 babies out, and allegedly murdering Tegan. Tegan was the second of 3 babies she carried to term and delivered without those closest to her even suspecting she was pregnant. She put her first and third babies up for adoption, but a year ago Lane was charged with Tegan's murder. Tegan Lee Lane was born on September 12, 1996. Yeah, we got that. So 2 days later, Lane left Auburn Hospital with her daughter. There was no sign of the baby when she attended a friend's wedding at Manly that afternoon, and a nationwide investigation has found no trace of the child since. That's what I find interesting, like how, even if baby Tegan is not dead, like how does the baby just vanish with no fucking paper evidence?
I told you, because she probably didn't have a birth certificate yet.
Because she left the hospital.
Yeah. And you don't get birth certificates until later.
Yeah.
And the baby will probably, if she's still alive, given to someone with no name, and so this baby just exists.
Yeah.
You've got to find somebody in the world, in Australia, who doesn't have a birth certificate.
Yeah.
Because this person who grew up, what's it called, as Tegan, she wouldn't have a birth certificate based on where she was born or anything, because...
Yeah, but fake birth certificates are a thing, like people forge those.
I know though, but like, okay, if Tegan was
should be
still alive now,
one of the many people who happen to have a birth certificate that say they're born on the 1st of the 1st.
Yeah, she probably would be.
Yeah.
And that's really sad.
Yeah. At the trial, Lane pleaded not guilty and maintained she gave the newborn to the child's natural father. Whoever that may be.
Whoever that is.
Yeah, in police, and that's not slut shaming, she's just making up. It's based on the fact that she's making up names. Yeah, 1 minute it's her long-term boyfriend, Billy's. In police interviews, she named him as Andrew Morris, or Norris, a Balmain resident with whom she had a brief affair. In one of several different accounts given to social workers and police, she said that after Andrew agreed to raise the child, she handed 2-day-old Tegan over to him, his mother, and his de facto partner, Mel, at the hospital.
Okay, then have they interviewed those 3 people?
Over the years, police have conducted a fruitless national search for Andrew. Remember, they couldn't find an Andrew Norris or Morris who
with a
fit
mother
that.
and a partner named Mel.
Yeah. Investigators tracked down men named Andrew Norris or Morris in the age bracket given by Lane and ruled them out as having taken Tegan. The prosecution contended the man she described had never existed.
Okay.
The Crown case was that Lane murdered Tegan to rid herself of the responsibility of raising a child. At the time, she was a 21-year-old physical education student and water polo star with dreams of making the Australian team at the Sydney Olympics. She was also terrified of how her family and friends would react if they knew of her pregnancies and did not want to tarnish her, quote, golden girl image, Crown Prosecutor Mark Tedeschi QC told the court. Mr. Tedeschi said that when Lane fell pregnant 5 times over the course of 7 years, this is that quote I read before. In the 1990s, she had sought a permanent solution to all the pregnancies. Blah blah blah. But the defence said there was no proof that Tegan was dead, let alone that Lane had murdered her.
Yep.
On the contrary.
Contrary.
What? Not contrary.
Contrary.
On the contrary.
Contrary.
She had done the responsible thing by giving the baby to her natural father, defence barrister Keith Chappell SC said. True. The fact that she legally adopted out 2 other children supported her story that she had given Tegan into somebody else's care.
Yeah.
But why? Why does that one not have paperwork? Mr. Chappell said tens of thousands of girls remained unaccounted for after the police searched for Tegan. Yeah. The failure to find Tegan or Andrew could be explained by names having been changed.
Yes.
I mean, maybe Andrew, this Andrew gave Kelly Lane a fake name anyway when they had the affair.
Probably could have.
If you are looking for a needle in a haystack and you are looking for the wrong name, the search is useless,
Yeah.
Mr. Chappell told the jury.
Yeah, because Tegan's probably not Tegan anymore.
And Andrew was probably never even Andrew.
Yeah.
Yeah. The trial began on August 9th with jurors hearing from about 80 witnesses and sifting through masses of documents. But before sending the jury out to consider the verdicts, Justice Anthony Really pinpointed the basic issues. He told them that if there was a reasonable possibility Tegan was alive or that Lane had handed her over to the father or anyone else, then they must acquit her of murder. But if they were satisfied beyond reasonable doubt that Lane caused Tegan's death by a deliberate act and that it was done with the intent to kill her, she should be found guilty. That's an interesting that 11 out of the 12 jurors said, yeah, she's guilty.
That's the thing, I wouldn't. I don't
You didn't know that. You didn't, sit through all that court time and
but from what I've...
even see Kelly Lane in person.
What the small amount of information you've given me so far, I would say no. Because I have no evidence to say that she did.
Except for all the lying.
The lying is not evidence to murder. People lie for all sorts of reasons. Murder is only one of them. She probably was just really scared.
Of what?
The police? People are scared of the police.
Yeah.
You imagine the police coming up to you and asking about what happened to this kid. Of course you're going to say the answer first that makes the most sense.
Yeah.
Like, I had it with my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And then, it makes the most sense to you. It makes you feel better because it means you don't have to confess to you having sex with someone while you're in a relationship with someone else.
I still don't know how, she obviously did the right thing with 2 of the other children and, giving them up for adoption the right way. Why didn't she go through the paperwork with this one?
Because she gave it to the natural-born father.
Such in hurry getting to this fucking wedding.
Yeah, because she didn't want people to think she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Why would she miss the wedding when she said she was going to the wedding?
Yeah, I know. It's so ridiculous, though.
No, but at the same time, none of this evidence say to me that she killed her.
I don't know. There's heaps of articles that are linked to it. But it's also interesting that taxi driver then came forward saying that, she stopped and, but then again, that's still not evidence to say that she killed baby Tegan.
It's not.
They could have been pre-arranged to leave the baby on the side of the road, have the other woman come and pick her up. But then in court, she's lying under oath saying she handed the baby over to Andrew Morris,
but obviously,
and his mother and his partner in the car park of the hospital.
That's the thing.
But she's lying under oath regardless.
Well, you don't know if that taxi driver's claim is true either. The fact that taxi driver's claim came out on that specific day when she was going in for an appeal is incredibly suspicious.
Yeah.
Like, why did that come out on the same day? Like, where did that come from? Like, it must be that either the taxi driver has been paid off to say that, or...
Why, though?
Why not? Like, because people want to try and make... They don't want the law to think they made a mistake.
That's true.
I think, maybe the taxi driver was paid off by the government or the police station or something to hold off on that either to hold off on that information and wait to this particular day to say it so that it will have an impact on her appeal, or to make up a story and then say it on that particular day. Either the story's real or it's not, but I don't think the fact that that it was revealed on this particular day is coincidence.
Yeah.
It's too consequential to be coincidence.
True. Do you want to hear it? There's a 2005 article from the Sydney Morning Herald again with the title, the headline, "I had no idea Keli was pregnant."
Okay.
This long-term partner, Duncan Gillies, the rugby player.
Yep.
Yeah, it's an article that quote is about him.
Yep.
Rugby player Duncan Gillies was blindly in love with water polo star Keli Lane. The former rugby union and league player told Westmead Coroner's Court yesterday that during the mid-1990s, Lane was the love of his life and, quote, "if she had got pregnant, I would have jumped at the chance to start a family." Mr. Gillies did not know how close he got. Ms. Lane, now 30, that's back then,
Yeah.
2005.
Yep.
Mr. Gillies did not know how close he got. Ms. Lane, now 30, bore 2 babies during their 4-year relationship. She just allegedly neglected to mention this to Mr. Gillies.
I hate this article already.
I know. Not the baby girl Ms. Lane legally adopted out in 1995, about a year after they started going out. And not Tegan, born at Auburn Hospital on September 12, 1996. As Mr. Gillies told the court, he was not skulking around to see if the woman he loved was having babies behind his back. Again, how does he not know that she was...
Did they live together?
I don't know.
The only way I can possibly think of this happening is if they didn't live together. How could you not notice that she had morning sickness?
Yeah, but even so, even if they didn't live together, they still would have seen each other at least once a week, right?
Yeah.
What you'd think. And how did he not see that she was...
I don't know, her boobs were getting bigger, that her stomach was getting bigger. How did... Okay, I know some people make the joke that men are completely useless and they don't notice anything. Yeah. But this is like the ultimate case of a man not noticing something.
Mr. Gillies attended a wedding with Miss Lane 2 hours after she left hospital with Tegan 2 days following the birth. But Tegan's birth remains unregistered and she has not been seen since mother and child left the hospital. And I do know from some of the podcasts I've heard that there was, I'm pretty sure there was CCTV, like, footage of her just leaving the hospital.
Was she given permission to leave?
No.
Oh, so she just got up and left.
She was meant to wait for something.
Yeah.
And...
She just got up and left.
Yeah.
But obviously wasn't CCTV footage in the car park for her handing this baby over.
Yeah. I mean, it was 1996. Like, yeah.
Can't get away with anything these days.
No. Police suspect Tegan is dead, but Miss Lane says she gave the child to an Andrew Norris, the supposed father who arrived at Auburn Hospital with his mother and partner Mel to take custody of the child the day she checked out. Police have found no one who knows these people and no evidence they exist. Again, even people who don't know these people, like, it's weird. And then there was Ms. Lane's third child, a boy conceived after Mr. Gillies had broken up with her and headed overseas. Ms. Lane recorded Mr. Gillies as the father of 3 babies, 2 during their relationship and 1 afterwards. DNA tests have shown he has no relationship to the first, and health services and adoption staff have recounted a litany of misleading or incorrect information Ms. Lane provided through the adoption processes. Yeah, she's a compulsive liar.
You don't know that?
Yeah, we know that. Everywhere she's going, it's just thwarted by her lies. Like, no one can trace anything because she's lying everywhere.
You don't know that she's lying.
It says everywhere she's lying everywhere she goes. They can't trace anything about any of the children because she's lying and no one knows the truth. And then she got busted lying 3 times under oath in court, at least. She's a liar.
Okay, she's a liar, but I still don't think she killed her child.
I'm not saying that. I said she's a compulsive liar and you got defensive about it.
No, because you're saying that you look at me with this face like this would be like worse than murder.
It is worse than murder. No, she's lying under oath.
Doesn't it make it worse than murder? Just because you like murder
Just saying, like, if she fucking did it, just fucking say she did. Like,
Oh, hang on. If you said that you did it, you still face 18 years of jail.
well, she's going to be in there anyway.
So, okay.
Which is actually funny. 18 years of jail seems high, given that how many years people in our country tend to get for murder.
18 is the standard for life in prison. I thought it was 18 or 15.
Yeah, but no one ever gets that.
Yeah, I think...
Even
yeah,
the other
I think-
child killers that have been high profile in the
Yeah.
media don't get fucking
I think
18
it's
or 15 years.
but she might have gotten an extra few years for lying under oath.
Exactly. It seems like the lying under oath is more punishable than the possibility of murdering a child.
It's obstruction of justice. It's a big thing.
So is murdering.
Yeah, but 15 years versus 3 years? Yeah, 15 years is a much longer time.
No one, that's what I'm saying. She's like the only one who's gotten 15 years. No one else, no other child killers in our country ever get that much. They get like 5 years, if that.
Well, they might get life, but they don't get...
No, they don't.
Yeah, but they might be eligible for parole.
No, but they don't get life. All the cases I've read, none of them have gotten life. Even the Farquharson, who was, I think, was the one that threw his kid off the Westgate Bridge, he didn't get life.
What did he get?
He got like a few years.
I don't understand that.
That's what I mean. Like murder.
that's
He
so
didn't
weird.
lie. He didn't lie. Therefore, the judge went easy on him.
But that's the really annoying thing then, is that she's been judged on...
That's what I mean.
She's been judged on her lying, which I
Yeah.
understand lying is a bad thing, but it's not... It's fucking
That's
a lot
what
less
I'm
worse than
thank
murder.
you. That's what I'm saying to you. So I'm saying the 15 to 18 years seems really fucking high, and she's only getting that because they're making a bloody example of her, and the fact that she lied so much.
Yeah,
That's
but-
why she's getting such a high sentence,
But that
not
pisses-
the possible murder.
That pisses me off.
Yeah, it pisses me off too, because never in any other cases are children's lives worth that much.
Yeah, and I mean,
You know what I mean?
either make an example of her and only do what you would intend to do for any other child killer.
That's not.
Because it's like, oh, she's a liar and she's a slut, so we must give her
Exactly,
more
that's what I'm
years.
saying.
That's fucked.
That's what I'm saying. Like, men who have killed their children do not get that long.
And the men who have killed their children are normally ones where you, I don't know, have footage of them throwing their baby off a bridge.
Yeah, and
versus
they're
her.
And they're the ones that are in the media like, he was a good bloke, he was a family man.
Yeah, and then her, oh, we have no evidence to actually say she actually killed her child.
But we're going to convict
we're
her
gonna-
of 18 years.
18 years anyway,
Yeah.
because she's lying.
That's what I'm saying. It's really
You're
fucking-
convicting her for lying, not for murder.
Yeah, that's
You're
what
just
I mean.
saying it's murder.
Yeah. So they want to make an example of her.
Well,
And they
who the
can't
fuck
even
was the
find the
sentencing
proof.
judge?
This wheelie guy.
Yeah, it's fucked.
It's probably a fucking Christian.
Probably a white Christian male.
Yep, for sure. He's a judge in Victoria. I mean,
No,
in Australia.
Queensland.
Or was it New South Wales that she was charging? It was New South Wales.
It was up there somewhere.
It was New
Up
South
there,
Wales.
not in Victoria.
Okay, so back to Gillies, the man who notices nothing. Asked yesterday if he had noticed anything unusual during those years when they were having sex. Perhaps. Mr. Gillies told he couldn't. The court, he hadn't a clue.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah, it's really written badly. Asked yesterday if he had noticed anything unusual during those years when they were having sex, perhaps. Mr. Gillies told the court he hadn't a clue. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Why would you not know?
And then he says, quote, I understand how it looks. It seems ridiculous coming out of my mouth, but it just seems common sense that I would pick up on her having a baby, Mr. Gillies said. I had no comprehension whatsoever that she had 2 babies in the years that we were together. You're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
When counsel assisting the inquest, Rebecca Beecroft pressed him to remember any odd behaviour, his temper quickened. Quote, I wasn't skulking around in the dark to see if the woman I loved was having babies out the back door. Or maybe you should have been. Yes, he had seen Miss Lane naked, and yes, their sex life had been business as usual, according to his statements to police. He testified that early in his relationship with Miss Lane, he had cheated on her with one of her friends, Taryn Wood. So they were just cheating on each other. Okay.
Yeah,
Another-
monogamists do that.
Huh?
Monogamists do that sometimes.
Another of her friends, Lisa Andrietta, testified yesterday that while she did not like Mr. Gillies and how he treated people, Ms. Lane was of good character. Police, well, that's what Ms. Lane was, like, presenting to everyone, wasn't she? Police had been interested in speaking to Ms. Andrietta after Ms. Lane told them her friend knew Andrew Norris. There is no Andrew Norris.
How do you know there's no Andrew Norris?
Because they can't find any evidence of an Andrew Norris.
You just said that before, that his name might not have even been Andrew Norris.
That's what I mean. There is no person called Andrew Norris.
No, there is no person called Andrew Norris, but it could have been a person.
True, but his name wasn't Andrew Norris.
Okay, fine, his name wasn't Andrew Norris.
She's
but it doesn't mean that he didn't
the
exist.
friend knows Andrew Norris, someone called Andrew Norris. Ms. Lane, a former teacher at Ravenswood School for Girls, said she was having trouble contacting her friend. Oh, how convenient. Everyone's just lying and it's annoying. Who had moved to Britain, of course she did, but then managed to spend Christmas of 2002 in Britain with Miss Andrietta. Miss Andrietta said yesterday she did not remember any Andrew Norris, although, as Ms. Lane had since told her, that might be because she paid no attention at the time or had forgotten.
I don't know.
He said, she said.
Yeah, and I don't think there's enough evidence to say she murdered her child. In my opinion,
I don't think there is either.
No, there's no weapon.
I usually think someone's always a murderer, but in this case, I don't think so.
Yeah,
No.
there's no weapon. There's no DNA. There's no crime scene.
blood.
There's nothing. There's no blood anywhere.
No,
I think either.
it's not like she got back in the taxi and was like covered in blood.
No,
or something.
I mean, and also I find the whole taxi driver thing
Yeah,
really
that's
suspicious, and I understand, like, I mean, I don't think she killed the baby.
No.
I honestly don't. I think it's just a case of she did something in a panic, trying to get rid of this child.
I don't know if it was in a panic,
It
but
could have been, and then it did
she's
it.
done it so many times though.
Yeah, but obviously this time she couldn't get it terminated for whatever reason, and she couldn't get it adopted out for whatever reason. What else do? You panic. You don't want this kid.
I think she didn't go through the proper process like she did with the other children to get baby Tegan adopted properly.
Yeah.
I think because she was in this hurry to get to this fucking wedding, which was all just about keeping up the facade of her being like this awesome golden girl.
Yeah.
Right? And getting, with her partner Gillies to get to this wedding, that she panicked and went, shit, I'm not getting out of the hospital quick enough. This process is taking too long, whatever. I need to get rid of the freaking baby.
Yeah.
It is problem solving like that.
I mean, I don't know if that's illegal.
Huh?
The way that if that's the way that it happened, if that's the course of events, I don't know if that's illegal.
Well, yeah, it's abandoning a child.
Like, you're giving a child to someone else.
No, you're meant to follow you can't just, it is illegal. You cannot just have a baby and just give it to someone. You have to follow like the proper channels to have make sure guardianship and all that's followed through with and paperwork. There is no fucking paper trail of this child.
What if she did intend to have a paper trail?
Yeah, she didn't. That's what I'm saying. She didn't. It sounds like she did intend to, but she's obviously panicked, thinking, "I've got no fucking excuse if I'm going to be late to this wedding."
Yeah.
Like she literally left the hospital and turned up at the wedding.
Yeah.
Like, she was obviously panicked, trying to get to this wedding to keep up the whole facade of being the perfect Keli Lane.
Yeah.
That she panicked and just got rid of the child.
Well, what if she meant to get rid of the child and then contact Andrew again to make sure the paper trail was followed, and then couldn't get into contact with him again?
Maybe.
Maybe he, just pretended nothing went wrong and never spoke to her again.
Yeah. At the time, who are we talking about?
Elise?
No. I've scrolled down for some reason. The whole thing about the friend being in Britain and that she mustn't have paid attention. Right, so Ms. Lane's father, Robert Lane, a former policeman, told the court this week that he believed his daughter's latest account of Tegan's disappearance, but did not ask about the 3 secret pregnancies and missing child because, quote, I didn't want to alienate her. I think I've actually seen, now I'm remembering, I have seen an interview with the parents, Robert and Sandra, was it?
Robert and Sandra?
Of them going, no, we didn't want to pry, we didn't notice she was pregnant.
That's so, what's it called, waspy?
Yeah, it is very waspy.
Oh, we didn't want to pry.
Yeah. At the time, he and Ms. Lane's mother discovered their daughter was suspected of hiding the alleged killing of Tegan. They were, quote, detached to some extent because we had a wedding coming up.
Everybody's going on about this fucking wedding.
Ms. Lane's husband, whom she married after splitting up with Mr. Gillies and whose name has been suppressed. Oh, she got married, okay. She got remarried.
Oh, she got married.
Oh, she got married.
She got married later.
Keli. Yeah. Keli Lane got married later. So Ms. Lane's husband, whom she married after splitting up with Mr. Gillies and whose name has been suppressed, was similarly incurious.
Incurious. I didn't know that's a word.
Yeah,
Incurious.
Incurious. Asked if he had asked why she omitted to mention 3 pregnancies until a year after the police began investigating her bogus excuses about the missing child, he said, quote, "We haven't discussed that kind of detail. Me trying to pressure her into it, trying to remember things, isn't going to assist her." Why are these men so fucking blind?
Yeah, I mean, if you got told from your partner, oh, they're investigating a bunch of children that I had in the 90s.
Would have been like,
what? Tell me more. What's going on? Like, you would probe.
Oh, no, he didn't want to pry. Nevertheless,
if you told me that you had a bunch of kids in the 90s, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I know, right?
Tell me more. What's going on? Why? How? Where are these children?
Finish reading this news article. News article.
Yeah, go on.
Nevertheless, quote, "We have a reasonably open relationship and we're able to discuss all manner of things."
Are you though?
Quote. No, obviously not.
Are you though?
Yeah. The inquest continues.
Interesting.
It's so infuriating. Everything about this is infuriating. The fact that she's a liar is infuriating. The fact that she couldn't even get an abortion, like, legally is infuriating.
Yeah.
The fact that no one was there to help her is infuriating. The fact that, she thought that she had to lie under oath is infuriating. The fact that these men didn't fucking, and her family didn't even notice all the pregnancies is infuriating. Like, and the fact that this kid is still missing or dead, but probably not dead, probably just missing.
Yeah.
And living under a completely new name, has no idea she was once fucking baby Tegan.
Yeah.
Right? It's all infuriating. Many lies.
I don't think she really had the option of anyone really helping her because she didn't want anyone else to know. It's like... That's the thing. She's so desperate to hold on to this view that she is the golden girl that she didn't ask for help. And there's a level of you have to ask for help. I mean, no, she shouldn't have been having sex. And she should have been fucking smart enough to realise the first time to have contraception if you don't want to get pregnant.
Yeah, exactly.
Like... I don't know if it was a case of she couldn't get an abortion because it is criminalised in Queensland.
That was the case.
That was the case? Okay.
Yeah.
Then how did she get the first 2?
No idea. They could have been backyard. They could have been anything.
Oh god, that makes my stomach churn.
Everything is fucking infuriating about this. And then that's the other infuriating part is her sentencing is ridiculous and so overkill. And the fact that the media and the judges just make an example out of her and slut shaming her. Yeah. Oh, she must have murdered the baby because she's a slut.
Yeah.
Like, who cares that she had, that many... Well, it is a big deal that she had that many babies. Like, she should have been taking precaution.
But that's not a motive for murder.
No, it's not. And they're just making a bloody example out of her.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating.
It's not having lots of children is not a motive for killing one of them.
No.
I mean, I can understand the whole, she wanted to keep it as this facade, so she wanted to get rid of the babies. It's like, well, there was other ways to get rid of the baby other than killing it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, just because she wanted to get rid of the baby, don't jump straight to she killed it.
Yeah. What have you got to say about that?
Many things.
I know what, I want to find that documentary now that ABC did.
I don't think she's guilty, and I'm also frustrated at the fact that they put so much effort into finding one kid when there's hundreds of other missing children.
Yeah, and it's something that I was just having a quick scroll through, like, the further reading. I think there was a case where they thought they'd found, grown up baby Tegan, but did DNA test, and it wasn't. Yeah. Wasn't her, so that's interesting as well. Yeah, so who's behind all the effort getting put into finding the baby? Is it the parents, the grandparents?
No, it's the government trying to find a reason to convict Keli.
They've already convicted her.
No, but to make it worse. To go, we've put so much effort into finding your child and we can't find it. You must have killed her.
Yeah, and we convicted you of murder and we can't be wrong.
Yeah, we put so much effort into finding this child and you must have killed it.
Yeah.
We can't find it, so she must be dead.
Yeah, they're just literally trying to make an example.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, even though she's an idiot. She must be an idiot, that's all I can say.
I mean,
and
what kind of person has 5 children and not get contraception?
Idiots. They're all idiots. But did she murder? No,
No.
probably not.
No,
She's
I
not
don't
fucking
think she.
smart enough to
I
murder.
don't think she murdered her.
She's not smart enough.
She's not smart enough, and I don't feel like that is enough motivation to kill a baby.
That
Like,
it's inconvenient.
That it's inconvenient.
No, it's usually cases of infant
infanticide.
Yeah. Infant homicide is usually due to the fact of, hating the baby so much, or, it's...
Or like severe
And-
postnatal depression.
Yeah, and then stuff to do with breakups and revenge and all that kind of stuff, like
Not
revenge.
because it's inconvenient.
No, not because, oh shit, I need to get this wedding and no one knows I'm pregnant on the golden child.
Yeah, it's not like, people don't just kill babies. Like, people do snap and commit murder, but usually not with babies. People have, it's evolutionarily, what's it called? It doesn't make any sense on an evolutionary scale.
No.
For someone to just randomly kill a child just because it's inconvenient.
Especially a couple of days old, because that
Yes.
baby is evolutionarily meant to look really cute. Like,
Oh, yeah,
look at
that's
them,
disproportionate.
and they've got the big eyes and all that shit,
Yeah,
and that's
so-
on purpose, so that
Yeah.
people like them and want to care for
Yeah,
them.
and it's the same with baby animals. It's the reason
Yeah.
why we think baby animals with big eyes and big round faces are cute, because they resemble baby humans.
Okay.
And so, yeah, and it's
that's
a
an
thing.
evolutionary
It's
thing,
totally
yeah.
a thing. If
To do with survival.
yeah, like most people, even if they don't want to have children, even if they hate children, will think a baby is cute, because we are evolutionarily designed to think that
True.
way,
I don't-
so we don't hurt them,
Yeah.
and so we look after them.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, I don't like children, but sure, if one turned up on our doorstep or I found it in the fucking cabbage patch, I'd be like,
Yeah.
oh, okay.
I have to look after
You're
this
cute.
kid
I
at
guess
least
I better look after you.
until somebody else does.
Exactly.
Like, you don't just go, oh yeah, whatever, and walk away.
No.
Like, and I don't
Or
understand.
pull over in a taxi and be like,
And dump your
oh,
baby.
Okay. She got back in the car without the baby.
Yeah, and I just don't.
Okay. I'll
Yeah.
keep driving to Manly.
Yeah, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I don't understand that whole. Like, it's not a motivation to kill a child.
No.
It's no motive there. Where's the motive?
Yeah. I don't buy the whole motive of
No,
it being
I
an
don't buy it.
inconvenience
I
or
don't
wanting
buy it
to
at
be in the
all.
Olympics, and no, it doesn't.
It's not-
Especially when she successfully, adopted out the others.
And not to mention as well, the psychiatrist said there was nothing wrong with it.
Well, no, she doesn't have a psychology.
No, she doesn't have a psychological disorder.
Yeah.
So in reality, you could think, okay, if she was psychologically unfit, yeah, that might mean that she did kill a baby, because there are cases of that happening.
Yeah.
But she was not psychologically unfit. So there's nothing really impeding her judgment there.
Yeah,
You
but
know
that
what I
can
mean?
also go the other way too. Because if, she's not psychologically unfit, therefore she's just awful and killed the baby.
Yeah, she's just
Whereas,
malicious.
when that happens, especially to men who kill their families,
Yeah.
it's like, oh, he was depressed.
Yeah.
Oh, he was dealing with his wife being unwell, therefore he killed his family. Poor.
But, like, how-
But he was a top bloke. Where's the part that says, but Kelly Lane was a top bloke?
a lovely woman, blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
I know.
No, she was awful and a slut.
Yeah.
And she killed her
was a
baby.
slut, therefore she gets fucking 18 years in prison. And that's where we'll leave that.
Yeah.
It's making me even more madder than I thought it would.
Yeah, again, it's the whole difference between the way that men and women are portrayed in the media.
Yes. And I'd like to think maybe it would have been different if she got, if it was assigned a female judge, but probably not. They're just
There's
as
not that
bad.
many female judges.
And they're just as bad. They're probably still going to think she was a murderer.
Probably not.
Yeah.
And
Because slut shaming still happens, women on women. They still
oh yeah,
slut
for
shame.
sure, especially back then. I mean, what year was she convicted? 2011.
Yeah.
We've come a long way
It has.
in 8 years.
Yeah, true.
So,
But how's our
I don't
legal
know about
system?
our legal system,
Or
but in
justice
terms of
system?
it
Probably
as a
not.
society, we've come a long way.
Yeah, I guess so, but no, like slut shaming is still going to be a thing.
Yeah.
And even when you have female judges, they're still going to be like,
Yeah. If I wish I could just go back in time and tell her, fucking take the pill. Like, just take the pill.
Yeah.
Just take it. I don't care if you think it's going to make you worse at your sport. You're either going to take the pill or have babies that you can't do anything with.
yeah.
Like, what? Like, maybe that's the reason why she didn't take the pill, because she thought it would make her less good at her
And
sport.
well, given that she's she's about 6 years older than me. So I think she was born in 75. And I know from being at school in a similar in the same decade, actually, sex education at school was fucking shit.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't great. And I can imagine even being, she went to a girls' school.
Yeah.
You can imagine girls' school in the 90s. They're probably not going to be like, hey, sex is okay, make sure you do this.
I wasn't even told sex was okay as an adult.
Yeah, exactly. And you went to a girls' school.
As a kid, sorry.
I think my school kind of did, but I went to a state school.
Yeah.
So, you know, they were kind of, you know, that's after my primary Catholic education. But in high school, they were kind of like, sex is going to happen, but this is the pill and this is what an IUD looks like.
We weren't even told that.
Oh, we
weren't told it in that frame. We were told it in, this is the contraception methods done. Like, we weren't told that sex is okay, this is what to expect. The only sort of evidence I ever got from family, and like from anybody who taught me about sex ed, was I got this book when I first learnt about, had the talk with my mum. In this book, it did have a like 1-page spread about how sex is meant to feel good.
Oh, okay.
And that was about the only extent I ever got of sex is, one of the reasons people have sex is for pleasure.
Oh.
It's not about having children all the time.
No.
Like, and there are many reasons people have sex, and...
No, I'm pretty sure, thinking back to my year 9, sex education classes, pretty much, like, sex is... I don't think we ever got to talk sex is meant to feel good. It was like, sex is going to happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to have children as a result, this is what you should do. So I can imagine, if it had been like, you went to a girls' school much later than that.
I did.
You still weren't taught that this is the methods that you should do to avoid having children. The sex is going to happen.
We were told these are the contraceptive methods, but we were never told it with the frame of that sex is going to happen.
Exactly.
Because in all girls' school land, sex isn't going to happen.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. And Keli Lane went to the Raven something girls' school in the 90s.
Yeah.
Like earlier 90s.
Yeah.
You can imagine she definitely was not told sex is going to happen. No. She was probably already having the sex.
And funnily enough, like, people say they had the sex talk when they were like 11. At my school, they just did the period talk when we were 11, not the sex talk.
Yeah.
So they did this. We didn't even really have a sex talk. It was kind of just thrust upon the parents, which I feel is like, okay, the parents do have to talk to their kids about sex, but the school is also partially responsible.
Schools
are responsible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we were given a period talk in year 5 because people had started getting their periods at that point.
Yeah, same. I remember someone in my school, I think grade 4 or something, had gotten her periods. We had to have an emergency period.
Oh, really? Because someone got their period?
Yeah, like really
4.
early.
Yeah. I've heard stories of children getting their period at 7.
Yeah.
Because the whole reason...
It's a weight thing,
Yeah, it's a weight thing. So when I was growing up...
I remember this girl that, who got her period... She was little.
Yeah.
Like,
she was tiny? Was she small? That's weird. She might have had something hormonally wrong.
Yeah, probably.
If your hormones are where they should be, puberty in both boys and girls is triggered by weight. So when I was little, when I was about 9 or 10, Mum would make me weigh myself. And I didn't know why. She was just telling me to weigh myself. I'm like, okay, whatever. Once girls hit about 45 kilos, that's when puberty is sort of triggered at that point. And it's because what's happening is your body is relocating your weight. So it's moving your fat in women from a relatively uniform distribution to have it all in your chest and in your hips and in your butt. So your body's fixing all that up in preparation for children.
Ugh.
Once that's all done and the body thinks, we're ready to go, that's when your period starts.
Yeah.
Which is gross. But that's the way the period kind of works. It's evolution going, we're thinking about having kids now. We need to make sure the body's ready. Body's ready. Cool, let's go.
Mine must have come quite late then.
How old were you?
Oh, what?
How old were you?
I would have been getting close to 13.
Okay.
But it would have been long gone since passing 45 kilos.
It could have been, again, a hormone thing.
Yeah.
And it also could have been as well the fact that your weight might not have been distributed correctly.
Yeah, true.
Until that point.
Yeah.
You might have been a big kid, but you might not have been where puberty wanted you to be.
Yeah, true. That's true.
Whereas
I think my hips widened until later.
Yeah, because your hips widen when you start having periods. It was like 2 weeks before my 12th birthday.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Anyway, thanks for that science.
I have to end off with a little bit of science for all of y'all.
Was that dark or creepy?
I think it was societally dark.
Yeah.
I think it's a good reflection on the way that the media and the legal system treats women who have multiple children.
And with apparently multiple partners.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's interesting and dark in that way.
Yeah. Where's all the finger pointing to the stupid men in her life?
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, why didn't you notice? Whereas I feel like there is a little bit of finger pointing towards women of men who do something wrong like that.
Yeah, I know, right? Why didn't you notice that your
Husband was depressed.
Yeah, why didn't you notice that he was going to kill your children?
Yeah, why didn't you notice that he ran away with your kids?
Yeah.
Like, blah, blah, blah.
So frustrating. All right.
We'll leave it there.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day, everyone. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Are we saying bye?
I don't know.
Is there something else we got to say? Oh, follow us on stuff.
Yeah, follow us on stuff. And
Yes. Instagram,
interact
Twitter,
with us on the socials.
Facebook. Become a patron. Suggest a page.
You can listen to us everywhere, including YouTube and
Yeah.
Spotify. If you're not already, but I suppose you're listening to us now. But give us a like, something, rate us 5 stars, 4 stars, 8 star, somewhere.
Give us interactions. We want to talk to you.
Yes.
But you don't talk to us.
Talk to us, please. Thanks
talk to
again
us.
to our patrons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Become a patron and you can suggest a page that we read.
Or even be on the show.
Yeah. True that.
Yeah.
True that.
All right. Alrighty.
Alrighty then, we'll leave it there. See you later, everybody.
That's not what you say.
What do I say? Bye.
No.
What do I say?
See
Alright. See you what?
Next time.
See you next time. I can't word today. I'm tired.
See you next time.
See you next time.